everyone. Today we are going to be learning about functions. So if you would, have something to write with and go ahead and get out this paper, this one right here that someone should have just passed to you. So the first type of function we're going to talk about is sets of ordered pairs. Now the rule for this function is that the x value cannot repeat. So when looking at these, you want to look at the first number in the ordered pair. So in this ordered pair, you have a 1, 4, 5, and 0. None of those values repeat, therefore that is a function. On the next one, you have -1, 4, -1, and 0. The negative ones both repeat. Therefore, that makes it not a function. When looking at it at the tables, it's done the exact same way. So the x value also cannot repeat. So when I look at this table right here, I see a 7, 8, 0, and -3. None of these values repeat, so therefore this is a function. When I look at this table, I have 7, 8, 0, and +7. This is not a function because these 7s are repeating. When determining functions, you do not have to worry about the y value. So on this one, you have a 6 here and a 6 here. That's okay, because you're only looking at the x values. So the reason why this one is not a function is because the 7s repeat. The reason why this one is not a function because the 1s repeat. None of them can be repeating. Moving forward with mapping. When it comes to mapping, the x values can repeat again, but the demonstration of this is by lines. So you can only have one number going from every number if it's on the first column. So for instance, each one of these numbers can only have one line going from it. So what I mean by x value, these are still your x's and these are your y's, just as it is in the table. So all of these have one line. Again, on the y value, the 12 has 2 lines. Remember, it's still a function because you are only looking at the x values. When I look at this one, think to yourself and see why it's not a function. A hint. Which number on the x value side has more than one line going to it? The reason why this next one is not a function is you should have thought because of 1. 1 has 2 lines coming from it. Remember, only one line can go from it. When it comes to a graph, you have to do the vertical line test. The vertical line test is when I draw one line down, it can only touch one time. So your line can only touch the graph one time. Now, I can draw as many lines as I want, and on every single one of those lines, it can only touch once. So if I drew a line down here, it touched only one time. If I decided to draw a line here, it touched once. If I decided to draw a line there, it also touched once. So that is a function. But if we look at the other one, if I draw a line straight down, it touches here and here on that line. So it touched the line twice. If it touches the line more than once, it is not a function. If I drew a line here, it also touches twice. Therefore, this graph is not a function. Now, I want you to think about this. It doesn't matter how many lines I draw on here. The object of this is if I draw one line, how many times does that line touch my graph? So you only have to draw one line. When I draw only one line, this one only touches one time. When I looked at this one, it touched it twice. So that's why it's not a function. Now let's review, since your notes are taken. The reason why this is a function is because there's no x values that repeat. Over here, you have an x value that repeats. The same rule goes for tables. Nothing repeats for the x values. But over here, you have 7 and 7 that's repeating. When it comes to mapping, mapping can only have one line coming from the number. This one is not a function because 1 has 2 lines coming from it. When you're looking at graphs and looking at vertical line tests, your vertical line that touches the graph can only touch the portion of the graph one time. If it touches more than once, that is what makes it a function. Now, if you will, get out your composition book. Turn to the table of contents in your composition book. Today is 10-10. I then would like you to write functions. The page that I'm currently on is 19. Remember, you might not be on page 19. So please check your next clean page. Then, if you will turn to page 19, you are going to write functions at the top. You then will take your paper that we just took notes on. You are going to fold it in half. And you are going to glue it on this page. Now, I hope you learned about functions today. What you will do next is an independent exercise since you all will be watching the video. If you have any questions during the video,